let's get started demo first. So this is a Blazor .NET 8 web application, and I just created a scaffolding template in Blazor with the SQL Server and Entity Framework, and it is simply there is a grid, quick grid. Using the quick grid, it's showing the grid, and also there's a functionality I just achieved. Uh, there is a filter options over here. They can filter, and also there's option to paginations. So those are things will be implement in here also, as well as there is a edit operations over here. For example, edit something, and also there is a details, back to list, delete if you want to delete, so delete also over there. And if you want to create a new blog, so that operation will be also provide this scaffolding templates. So let's get start implementation. So before implementation, I especially recommend, if you're new, so please go to my .NET real world example channel, and there is a many stuff actually I already created for this Blazor application with that simple web assembly and Blazor server and many stuff we have done. So you can check out as well old session as well. So now let's open a Visual Studio first. So first of all, you have to install your Visual Studio 2022 along with .NET 8. So this is a .NET 8 series. So let me create a new project, and here you will get, you can search over here Blazor. Once you search over here Blazor, you will get that many template or that Blazor. So this is a new template actually introduced with .NET 8, and those are actually that existing one, but yeah, this is a new one. And here I will just create a next and just name it as a scaffolding, and next. Now I'll just keep it whatever default setting will keep it. Also authentication type will be none, and I will take a server version because that scaffolding available only server, not WebAssembly, right? So that's why I'm using. Also I will choose here, there is two options, interactivity of the Blazor component, so I will use per page component and just create it. Let me close that demo and bring that what new application has created over here. Go to the solution explorer, and here you can able to see there's a few structure of file structure over here, folder structure or solution structure over there. So those are commonly we use on Blazor application. This is a common, there's a no new things over here, only one things that route dot result dot page. So this is actually just separated, and previously it was not separated, but yeah, in .NET it is just given the separate. So I'm not going to details of this application because this is a very simple structure. They have program.cs file, and this is a main program.cs file, which is actually run your build applications, and then it is calling your app root component. So this is your root component app.razor file, and this root component actually just set at the body, and whatever the root component we have to set, like this is actually taking care all that reference as well as your client side script, javascript as well. And then it is going to call actually that main layout, and this main layout actually call that our body and whatever component need to load, so it will load over here. So like this way actually the flow is working. Okay, and let me run and show you what is the default template provided by .NET. So once you run, you are able to see these three component. Okay, so home component, counter component, and also weather component. This is a simple, but this grid actually they are creating this simple, but when I create a when we'll create for that scaffolding, we'll use a quick grid. So there is a many flexibility give us that quick grid, and upcoming session will explain many things about that quick grid. So let's go back to our solution and how we can create a scaffolding CRUD operations, right, using the scaffolding. So first of all, what you need to do is let me stop the application. And what I will do, I just create a one model. Let me create a one model. Let's call it to blog or whatever model you want. Just create it as per your preference. So add, and now just let me add few property over there. For example, ID and name and description and author, and that's fine for the demonstration perspective. And then what I will do, inside page, right click, add. But once you go to the right click and add options, you are able to see this option, new scaffolding template. So this new scaffolding, once you click, it will prompt you this one, and then you have to go to that razor component, and this razor component, it will provide two template. So one is normal razor component and second one is a razor component uh, with the entity framework CRUD operation, right? So what I will do, I will choose this one and go to add, click, and once you click, so you will get this dialog box, and here there is a few options we have to choose that. First of all, there is a many options, like you want to create a list, detail, delete, edit, create, but I will use a CRUD operation so that all the functionality will can achieve over here. Second, I have to choose that whatever model we have created, right? So just choose this, and then see if it is existing DB context over there, so that will populate. But yeah, it is not there, then what you can do, simply you can just add, okay, and just add, that automatically will be created, and then database provider you can choose whatever you want. So as of now I will use the SQL Server and add it. Once completed, see, once completed all the dependency and that process, so let me build first. Let me build solution so that whatever dependency and uh, packages are getting over here proper restore in our solution. And if you go to that application project file, you will see there are getting entity adapter, grid, this one, actually this one they are import, and also this one also they have added SQL Server and tools, and then finally design. Okay, these four packages actually they introduce. And also if you go to the pages, so this folder actually they created, right? Let me zoom in for you. So this folder actually has created blog pages, and if you go inside these blog pages, there's a many operations they have created, many component they created: create component, delete component, details component, and edit components, and index components. So let me go through one by one. First I will go to index component. So what are they trying to do over here? Simply first they import that grid packages, because we are using grid component, so that's why they import that grid namespace. And then what they're trying to do, they just simply inject our DB context directly over here, so that we can use whatever data we can use it, right? And finally we using the namespace, so this is our namespace file. And then what they're trying to do, simply they're using title, and this is a simple titles over here, and that simple tag, that whatever components we are defining over here. And this is added one anchor tag, which is actually go to that navigation, we can navigate for this other next component, right? That create component, so that's why they adding this. And then finally comes to this QuickGrid, right? So this is a one up component which is provided by .NET. So that is also many flexibility over there. Like, see, simply you can just define your class and as well as your items. So whatever items you can just define over here. For example, see, this is I'm injecting from the DB context and pass it to here, and whatever data we can pass it to my items here. And then whatever column you want, so you can use this property column, and inside the property column whatever the property you can specify, and along with using the lambda expression, whatever that column property you can define over here, like that. Okay, so this is a way we can use the QuickGrid. but don't worry, as of now we just little bit understand. But yeah, upcoming session will create a, one of the session where actually I just give create that quick grid in existing application, and we'll do many things like filter, searching, pagination, custom filter, custom pagination, everything will do custom, right? And many things we will do with this quick grid. And that finally this is a template column which is refer to our whatever our actions, right? We want to edit, delete, and details, right? So whatever actions we can provide like this, and finally close this, right? So this is a index. Let me go to edit one. So edit one also, it's simple, again injecting and navigation, navigate that navigate manager, and using edit form. And this edit form also we trying to some validator mechanism over here, and we put some labels like name, description, and this, right? And this is simple. And again this is a some on initialize. What we trying to do, simply we navigate to, if it is not found, then block is not found, we'll navigate to not found. If it is not there, that means block is there, and we will bind that block, and block we can just set it over here, right? Similar, if you go to details, so detail component also similar such kind of things like import, inject, and then finally bind the data as like this way. This is a simple component. And also again initialize, on initialize, they trying to get the data, and they're trying to do that, right? So this is also done. Then delete. Delete also very simple, again call this delete component, and few design over here. And also this is a edit form. We using edit form because we using ssr server side static render mode we using over here. And on validation, once delete, so that blocks will call, you know the delete, this delete method with fire. And what we're trying to do, we are trying to delete, and as well as delete, we are trying to navigate to our main page. So such kind of things we are trying to do over here. And finally create. So this is also again edit form. We're trying to add our data using that fields. And finally we can save to data and navigate to main page. So these are actually the CRUD operation. They are prepare and generated by the scaffolding template. So let me run first and see in actions. So okay, actually whatever the route, actually I need to do one thing over here. If you go to navigation property, first of all you have to go to index and see what actually the page route is generating. So route is generating with slash blocks, right? So what I can do, instead of directly I can call uh here like this way, like slash blogs. So you can get that blogs page or component. Now see one thing, yes, that is also need to highlight it. So see, directly if you run, definitely it will not get data, and it will give some error, right? So let me fix that error. What you need to do first, once you scaffolding completed, you have to fire to command actually. So go to that package.console. Here what you have to do, add migration, because see the db context are everything is generating, but we have not actually forcefully no generating our tables and structure, right? So that's why we have to try to do first add migration. So first migration, hit enter. So that is done. Then secondly what you need to do, update database, and hit enter. So once you created two things, so then this will be created in our database. So let me make sure it is created properly, created and open a SQL server, and connect your SQL server engine, and go to here and go to the database. Let me check what the database name is generated, right? So first of all you can go to your app.connection string. Here you can check what is that name is actually generating. So this generating name is 76BD, right? So go to that 76BD 76 76BD is not generating. That's why, because I have some issue actually, my SQL server it is not directly connected. So what I can do in this case, I have to change actually my connection string over here because it is not supporting directly. So what I will do, I will change my server name. So this is my server name, and also you can change the DB name. Yeah, let me change it to my DB name as well because it is very long DB name. So I will change it to short Blazor app scaffolding by entries. Also I need to add few settings which is actually prevent to connect my SQL server. So that setting I have to add it over here. So what is that setting? That setting is simply, let me remove this and add this. So actually my SQL server required some trusted server certificate allow required, right? So that's why I'm adding this trusted certificate and also trusted connections, and connection timeout I just set it 30 second, 30 minute, 30 second I guess, yeah, 30 minute. Integration security I set it true. So this setting is fine. This is actually not required for I think everyone, but yeah, and for my machine is required. So let me, okay, once you complete, what I need to do again, I need to perform these two operation. Let me clear and let me add the add migration, second add migration, and once I add, then simply try to fire this database connection. Now see, this time I hopefully should be created. Go back to your SQL server, let me refresh. Now this time see, yeah, this is my database name which way I added over here, and go to the tables. You will get this data, means that the column and structure everything is ready. Okay, now what I will do, simply I will try to run and go to that blog. Now see, page is trying to component is rendering completed, but there is a no data, right? Because we don't have a data in our DB. So what I will do, I'll just create a data, for example this, for example this, and let me create. Once you create, you are able to see the data. Similar, we need to create another one. So another one also created. Let me create two more so that I can show as a pagination, because I will implement pagination as well. We can easily pagination controlling over here, also sorting as well as filtering. So these three things we will show you in this session. And let me show you, let me add one more, for example Angular author, and this, see, now we have 5 records. Okay, so first of all what I will do, I'll just create a pagination so that we can handle that pagination. So go back to your component, go to the components, go to that index page here. So also the pagination also allowed this this QuickGrid component, right? So let me implement that pagination. So first of all I need to add one component that is called is here paginator, and this paginator actually we have a input field which is required that pagination uh, model, right? So let me add this pagination model as well. So this is that pagination model. First of all I need to add one code block here so that I can add that pagination model. So see, this is a pagination state which is coming also, which is also provided by that sp.net component.grid, right? So you can just add, and whatever page size you want, like you want to 3, you want to 5, 10, 20. So as per here, you can just set it that pagination type count over here. So I set it this, and one more things you have to do that, like this first setting is you have to just add this component and then create your model pagination state model, and then you have to specify here. So what you need to specify here also, you will get that pagination, and then at the rate whatever pagination I just created as a model variable, so you can just add it over here. And once it's done, let me go back here. See, once done, automatically it's reflecting, and here you can able to see. Okay, it is not working, might be some issue, but yeah, let me save it and run again. Sometime actually it's not working directly. So okay, I think I have to add here navigation property as well. So go back to your layout, go to your layout, navigation component, and here I will add one more navigation so that I don't need to change the URL again or again. What is my URL? My URL is blogs, and the label should be as a blogs. And if you go back, so see, blog is there. Let me click over here. Once you click, you will get over here, and see, this is also not working. Why it's not working? There's a one reason actually. This is actually static server side rendering. It's now because static server side rendering, whatever component, it's just simply load it over here. But if you trying to interact in the server, so for this pagination, so you have to change to render mode to interactive to server. So how we can do that? It's very simple. There's a many way actually we can do that. Go to your index page, and here what I can do, I can do at render mode, and then interactive. See, there is a many type, right? So I will use interactive server. So once you put that interactive server, I hopefully without stopping it should work or not. So yeah, it will not work. So what I will do, let me close and run this again. Go back to this, and now click. See, now this time is working. So there's a 5 records, so that's why this is a 3 pages, right? Because I just added 2 item per page, so that's why it's divided by 3 page. So this is pagination. See, this is a very nice pagination. Also this is a client side pagination, so don't worry about that. Upcoming session I will create a session where I will just implement custom pagination, as well as this should be render from that server. It should not should not filter or in this client side, because there's a not, this is not a good practice. So this is done. One more thing actually I show you in the demo, that sorting, right? How we can sort this grid. So go back to your here there is a one more option here, this column wise. You can just specify sortable true. So if you set that sortable true, this sortable should also working. See, once I sortable true, this highlighted and design appearing over here. See, sorting also working fine. Now one more thing I'll show you in the demo from the starting, the filter. I want to filter for this column. So how we can achieve that? That is also few tricks we can do that. Go back to your index page, and here what I will do, I'll just create a one iQueryable and iQueryable blog, whatever our model, and then I just filter blogs, and then what I will do, just whatever our db, let me create a lambda expression, and db dot blogs blog dot where, and here what you need to do, we have to just filter whatever data we are passing into that filter text. So what is the name of that column name where I want to filter, which is name, and dot contain and here I need to pass one property. So which property, how we'll get that property? That property should come uh, in this column itself, right? So let me add first as a variable, so that this variable, in this column field will store that whatever input text variable inside this variable, and this variable I will to pass as a filter over here, so that the data should can filter and give us to us. And then finally terminate this query, and then call it to this filter block in our here directly. Replace to that whatever previously we have done, replace this. And one more thing actually we have to done, this is filtration done and variable setting also done, but this variable how we can bind, in this column, so that part is done. So how we can do that? It is very simple. Again, simply what I can do, I need to create these proper columns, closing component I will put it over here, and then inside I'll just create one options over here, column options, and then also just close that here. And inside here I'll just create a simple div, and inside div I'll just ask to as a input box. So see, what I'm trying to do, I just create a div and I just put that input box, so that whatever input box I can just bind as a use that, bind event. Okay, and just bind whatever property field we have just created, so that will bind automatically, and that's it, right? And let me, okay, let me rebuild and apply. So go to blog. Now see, once I apply this here, it is just showing triple line, and once I click, you are able to see one input box, and you want to filter. See, if I filter A, so whatever data A which is getting from the DB, they're trying to get, and it will show over here, right? And then you want to remove, so you can remove it. So simply you can just achieve this, CRUD operation with this, nice quick grid with pagination, sorting, sortable, and also filtering. So we can achieve this very quickly. So that's why I show you. But yeah, upcoming session will show in that quick grid in our existing application with the whole features. So keep watching, keep tuning, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.